So, as Ramanuj was born in Tamil Nadu in the 11th century, and he was influenced by Alvars. So, that means he was devoted to Lord Vishnu, and he gave the philosophy to attain salvation. He taught people that people have to be completely devoted to Lord Vishnu, and he gave the philosophy of Vashisht Advaita, or qualified oneness in the soul. Then we have another saint, that is Basavana Veerashiva. Veerashiva movement was initiated by Basavana and his companions like Alama Prabhu and Akama Devi. This movement began in Karnataka in mid 12th century. So there was another guru whose name was Basavana, and he started another movement named as Veera Shiva movement, and he was not alone to start, but he had companions like Alama Prabhu and Akama Devi. They started this Bhakti movement in Karnataka in mid 12th century, and he argued for the equality of all human beings and was against Brahminical ideas about the caste and the treatment of women. They were also against all forms of rituals and idol worship. So the Basavanas, they argued for the equality of all human beings. They felt that all human beings are equal in the eyes of God. There should be no discrimination which existed in the Brahminical pattern. And they also wanted equality for women, because during that time women, they were treated badly, they were not respected, they do not carry any value in their homes or in the society. But Basavanas, they felt that uh, as all human beings are equal, so women should be given equal respect and value as men. They were also against all forms of rituals. They do not want people to get into the clutches of all kinds of customs and rituals, and they were also against idol worship. Now here is the picture of saints of Maharashtra. You can see number of saints which were there in Maharashtra during that time. So during 13th to the 17th century, Maharashtra saw a great number of saint poets. Most of the saints which were present in Maharashtra, they were the saint poets like Dhyaneshwar, Namdev, Eknath, Tukaram, and Sakhubai, and the family of Chokhamela, who was untouchable of Mahar caste. So, the Bhakti saints of Maharashtra, they came from all backgrounds, right? They were from upper caste, they were from lower caste also. And here are a few names mentioned like Dhyaneshwar, Namdev, Eknath, Tukaram. They all were very famous Bhakti saints of their own time. this religion, sorry, this regional tradition of Bhakti focused on the Vithala, a form of Vishnu, and they preached that personal God residing in the hearts of the people. Now, the people, or the saints rather, saints of Maharashtra, Bhakti saints of Maharashtra, they were all devoted to Vishnu, but they gave a different name to Vishnu and they called Vishnu as Vithala. Now, they used to teach people that the God, that is Vithala or Vishnu, God resides in the heart of people. People keep searching for God in the world, in temples, in scriptures, but actually, God resides in our own hearts. They also rejected all ritualism and social differences based on the birth and preferred to live with their families, earning their livelihood like any other person, while humbly serving fellow human beings in need. According to them, bhakti lie in sharing others' pain. So they were against all type of ritualism, all customs and rituals which were there, or social practices, and they rejected all these things. And uh, the social order, that is the caste system. And in few uh, religions, like if we talk about Buddhism and Jainism, there the teaching was such that if anybody wants to attain the true knowledge about God, then they have to leave their homes, they have to leave everything, and they have to completely give life to the God. Then only they can attain salvation. But the saints of Maharashtra, they were against this idea. They told people that the hearts of the human beings is the residing place of God. So nobody has to leave their homes and go, nobody has to leave their families and go in search of God or attain salvation. They can live with their families and they should do the work or whatever occupation they had, they should earn their livelihood. But along with all these worldly things, that is the family, earning money, they have to serve the fellow human beings in need. We all are living in a society, and they believe that in the society we have to be helpful towards other fellow beings. If we find anybody in need, we should help. Then only it is actual bhakti. Just sitting and reciting the name of a god every time, or going to the temple, or leaving your family aside, not earning anything, that cannot attain, cannot take you near to God. If you're not doing anything good for the society, that cannot help. But if you are, a good human being, if you're serving other, if you're serving humanity, then that is the true bhakti. Now we are going to read about the next group of bhakti saints, that is Nathpanthis, Siddhas and Yogis. There were other religious groups who criticized the ritual and conventional religion and social order. They were Nathpanthis, Siddhachars and Yogis. To them, the path to salvation lie in meditation on the formless ultimate reality and the realization of oneness with it. To achieve this, they advocate intense training of mind and body through practices of yogasanas, breathing exercises, and meditation. This became popular among low caste and also became popular in North India. So, the Nathpanthis, or if we talk about Siddhas or Yogis, according to them, salvation is the ultimate aim, right? To achieve salvation of any person. And it can only be attained by meditation. If anybody who do regular meditation can achieve salvation, because while doing meditation, what is being done? That you concentrate on one particular thing. You meditate. You cut yourself from all the other thoughts, and your thoughts and your soul is attached to one single point. You need to focus. And while meditating, where you need to focus? To the Supreme God. And when you do it, your soul gets united with the Supreme God. Again, the same philosophy that Atma joins Paramatma. Now, you must be thinking this is so easy, right? Doing meditation and you can just achieve God. But no, this is really difficult rather, because if you sit for meditation, you cannot focus. You can just try it right now. Just close your eyes and sit and just focus on one particular thought. But you feel, if you're going to see this, you will definitely see that thoughts keep coming to your mind. Different thoughts. There's a kind of, flow of thoughts which keep coming. You cannot focus, which hinders your meditation, which hinders your path to salvation. So, to attain salvation, meditation has to be done. And how meditation has to be done? For that, you need to practice yogasanas. You have to train your mind and body. You have to train your mind to focus. Your body should be relaxed. So, all these things can be attained only through yogasanas and breathing exercises. And then you can do meditation. And if you are able to do meditation, then definitely you can achieve salvation. So, this particular concept of Nathpanthis, Siddhas, and Yogis, this become very much popular in the lower caste people and also in North India. So for today we'll stop here. I hope you all have understood. Now students, please read the chapter and listen to the video one more time for better understanding. Thank you.